gamers? In this video, I am going to talk about a game called Geos Tactics. This game is a turn-based tactical game from the series Gears of War. It's a spin-off. Now, let's talk about first how the game looks. Oh, it looks great. It really does. Now, when it comes to how the game looks, it feels like you're playing Gears of War. They do such a good job of bringing that universe to this tactic kind of gameplay, and they did a pretty good job with how the game looks. The character, I feel like every character here represents characters from the mid-series, that you can see these characters. So I actually really like that. The same way with the gun, with everything. They did a pretty good job. I really, like how the game looks. It really represents Gears of War. Now, what about the sound? Oh, it sounds good. Every sound is pretty good, especially those sounds familiar with the main series, like the bomb, the shotgun, the chainsaw where you call your enemies. It really sounds Gears of War. And I will repeat myself over and over again, but they did such a good job with, bringing the series here. Now, what about the voice acting? It's actually pretty good, the same, top notch. So I really, impressed by this game. Now, let's talk about the story. When it comes to the story, it really is pretty familiar. So if you play Gears of War, this series is pretty much bad guys, right? There's a pretty big bad guy and you need to stop it. And pretty much here is the same. Although here they show some characters that I was not really expecting, so that took me for surprise. I enjoy it, but I would say the story overall is pretty basic, pretty Gears of War kind of thing. So yeah, it was fun. Now this is actually a prequel, so this is happened before the first one, so it's a prequel. Now the only thing I would say, I wish they explain just a little bit more, but there's some context. It's just like I feel like they're missing a little bit, because they show a character that's really important to the future of Gears of War. So I wish they have a little bit more. It feels kind of random, but if you play it, you know what I mean. So now let's talk about gameplay. But first, there's actually two versions of the story. So there's one that you play with Jack, that is this little robot that helps you, and there's other one that you not play with him. So it's your choice. It just makes the game more easy if you play with Jack, and there's a lot of achievements related with that mode, but it's the same game, right? So how this game plays, it actually plays really good. So in a lot of tactic games, you have actually 2 action points. So this is pretty basic, I'm not going really in details, but here you actually have 3 points. So you have more action, plus you, if attack, you not end your turn of the character. A lot of tactic games, they actually do this. So if you attack, the turn is end for the character. In this one, it's not that. So you actually can attack 3 times, and yeah, you actually can do that. So your turn is not end. So makes it more action. That makes sense, right? Because it's, a spin-off of Gears of War. And Gears of War is known because of its, action. So here is the same. Now everything else is actually pretty basic. You take your cover, it's going to tell you if the cover is good because of the shield icon. You got your abilities, you got other stuff. So yeah, now you actually have a lot of stuff from Gears of War. I think that's what makes this game more unique. It's not trying to do something new, but they actually bring a lot of stuff from Gears of War to this series. For example, you can actually execute enemies. The way that they move is actually really Gears of War. The way they go down when you go to zero, you can revive them. You can pick weapons. There's a lot of stuff from Gears of War. When you take cover, you can actually jump and kick the enemy, so you stun them a little bit. Yeah, really Gears of War. I actually really like it. There's only one thing that you don't have, and is the roll. Because in Gears of War you can roll, and here you can do it. But that's pretty much about it. Everything else is actually really Gears of War. I really enjoy it. A lot of tactics games, they're more slow paced because you actually have 2 points, and when you attack your enemy, this one feels more action plus the glory. You can rip your enemies with the chainsaw, with other stuff. So the violence of Gears of War is in the spin-off. I think they do such a good job because that's what you should do when you do, a spin-off. You should bring what that makes that franchise unique to a new type of game and make it. You don't need something new. So I think that's what they did here. I think they did actually a pretty good job. Now, what about the maps? The maps, honestly, I feel like the maps are my favorite part because in this one you not explore, so it's not like adventure. It's tactic, but a lot of tactic game, if you play them, they're like small and they are because of the gameplay. Obviously, you don't want a really big map because all the characters are gonna be on the place. So yeah, you just can't like run or hide. So in this one, they're actually really big, the maps, and I was not really expecting that. There's a lot of high grounds, there's a lot of like local that you can take, there's a lot of route. I actually really enjoy it, not how much it looks, just the way that you can play. I really was not really expecting. I was expecting more like a traditional tactical battlegrounds when you play this type of games, but in this one they go bananas with this, and I actually really enjoy it. And you need to look the map really because they're massive and you may lose or miss some entry, you know what I mean, in the map just because how big they are, and you continue. So it's actually pretty cool, and I wish a lot of tactic games they do this because when I get it, they're trying to make it small so it's more dense, but actually I think they actually do a pretty good job because it forces different play style when you play with a big map like this, and especially with the enemies because they drop a lot of enemies just because it's an action game, right? Because you have more action points, you got 3 instead of 2, and you actually can attack without ending the turn when you're attacking. So yeah, it's a pretty action game and I really enjoy it. Now, still a strategy game, of course. You need to be careful what you're doing, you don't want to go crazy, but still it was really action and I enjoy it. It's pretty solid gameplay. Now let's talk about customization because it was actually really fun and I was not really expecting this. So you have 2 types of unit. Heroes, if you die or they die, you fail the mission and you need to repeat it again. And you got your troops, not the regular, they can be replaced, and every one of them they belong to like class. There's 5 of them. There's heavy, sniper, support, scout, and vanguard, and each one plays really different. There's only one thing I don't like about this, and it's like every class has its own weapon. For example, scout has the shotgun and you can change that. That's my only gripe, I would say, but pretty fun. Now everyone has a secondary weapon, and it's the snow pistol, and the same, you can change that. So you can actually customize your weapon. There's a lot of customization when it comes to this. They change how damage they do, if how many ammo they have, so pretty basic stuff, but they have actually passive, so you can find modifications that have passive and change how the weapon actually looks. The same with your ammo. There's 3 pieces of ammo. You got your helmet, chest, and legs. The same. They come in different size, different, features, and they do the same. They do more defense, all that stuff, pretty basic stuff, but you actually can find the ones that have different perks. So when it comes to the customization, I would say it's actually really fun. I spent hours and hours trying, to make my guy look really cool for war. You can change the color of the weapon with different like designs. The same with the ammo. You can actually make the helmet to show off or not. That's up to you. So you get attached to this, right? Because you spend hours and hours just to mess around, and those you can go really crazy, or really, really basic, I just no no. It took me for surprise a little bit because maybe because of Gears of War. I know, see, Gears of War be like this, you can go really crazy, but hey, it was actually really fun. Another thing that you can do is with your troops that you don't want to use, you can actually take pieces of the weapon or ammo. You can take ammo if you're not using and change with the character that you want to use. So that's something that you can actually do. So the customization pretty fun. Now let's talk about the skill tree because every class plays really different. And here another thing, I was not really expecting this. Like I said, there's 5 of them, and each one is actually plays really different. And you can have 2 characters or more with the same class. For example, you can have 3 scouts, and they can play really differently. And this is actually pretty fun because you can actually have, try different variations of the same class. And there's a lot that you need to test. I got multiple sniper, multiple vanguard, multiple of each one of class, so I can try it. And you never know if you not try them, right? So the game actually allows you to try it. Now you can reset the skill if you somehow screw up, but before you end the game, you need points. After you beat the game, it's free. So because there's an end game. But I just want you to know that, it's kind of limited in the beginning, but when you end, you just can reset your character. If you make a mistake or you're not using a specific ability or something, you actually can reset it by the end for free. But in the early game, there's not a lot of mistakes that you can make because of doing that. So that is something. I'm not gonna, obviously a lot of tactic games have this, but I feel like this one actually goes a little bit more below that. Like they're trying to make it a little bit like a RPG, because a lot of skill, and actually was, really fun. There's a lot, of combos. There's a lot of stuff that you really need to try with this. That's why I have multiple, class with, same class, because I want to try it and to see, what is best and what's not, and what's working for me and what works for me. Maybe it doesn't work for you, but pretty fun. So now let's talk about the side content. So you have side quests, and I would say I do not enjoy it just for one reason. It may sound stupid, but you need to do it so you can progress the main story. Now I don't have any problem with that, to do side quests, but not try to force it, you know what I mean, because eventually I'm gonna do it. But it's like you need to do it so you can progress and trust the gameplay. You really don't want to force a loop, and I think that's how they do it here. You start with doing 1 and doing 3, and I feel like they slow you down. Now I get it, the loot, the level up, because that's how you get loot, doing the side quests. You can see the different reality they're going to give you, and every side quest is actually completely different. And what I mean with this, there's 4 types of side quests, missions, but because all the modifications, it feels different, and that's fine. That's all fun, but don't try to force it. That's my only complaint, not force it, but at the same time I need to be a little realistic. I understand, right? You need to level up, you need the loot, so they trying to make sure that you have everything so you can complete the game, but you should trust the player. Just allow us to go crazy. We know chaos, it's fine. We got this. If we go to the last boss in level, 3, well, good luck. So it's, one of those things it's kind of silly, but at the same time, it's why do it? Now, all other side quests, they play, little differently. And that's fine. I wish we had a little bit more variations when it comes to the side, quests. I say that they got modifications, but the most that they have, they are not really fun. Just few of them that I enjoy it, but for the most part I don't really, enjoy it. I feel, like a drag, and that is what you're gonna do in the early game, because in the early game you're gonna do the same, because there is actually an end game that you need to complete this side quest so you can have the supreme weapons. The supreme weapons or modifications are the most powerful ones, and you need to complete 3 of them and then you level up. You need to complete 3 of them, you complete a mission that will level you up, you know, let's go better missions, and you will have harder difficulty. And that's fine, but when you do already like 20 hours, and then you need to do like maybe 10 more, doing the same exactly thing. Yes, the modifications, but sometimes the modifications, they're not a really big of a deal, so it drags, you know, out. There's a lot of stuff to do in this game, don't get me wrong, and I appreciate it, but it just, you spending time just for more loot, because it feels like this game is a looter, right? And I wish the end game would have a little bit more variation, maybe some boss that you can fight. That would be really cool. Now you got boss in the main story, that's kind of obvious, but you know, try to spice up just, you know, a little bit, because you spend 20 hours doing this thing, because in the main story, the, you know, the missions are almost the same as the side, you know, quest. Just the thing is, the side quests, they don't have like a story. In the main mission, you know, you do the same, but they have a, you know, a reason why. You know, there's a reason why you do it in the main story, when in the side quest there's no reason. So you keep doing the same, you know, thing. I wish, you know, they change a little bit. Now, how hard it is the game? There's something they actually recommend you to play in the harder difficulty. I don't really do this. I don't really recommend players, especially casual players, to play these games on hard. The reason is because a lot of times they just increase the damage and the health of the enemy, and they try to screw you up. So that's why, but in this one, the only reason I actually recommend it because the NPC is kind of stupid. So I play it on normal and they make such mistake, a lot of mistake. You know, the same with me. You know, I make mistakes, of course, and there's actually friendly fire in the game. So yeah, you know where I'm going with this. They kill themselves sometimes. The same with me. So hey, it happens. So, but you know, it's kind of different when the NPC do it, because it takes me out. But I play the game a little bit more with the harder difficulty. Harder difficulty. Sorry for that. And you know, it plays, you know, quite different, because you know they don't make a lot of mistakes. So that's actually good to know. So if you really want to try this game, try it in a harder difficulty, so you know, going to see the NPC doing, you know, stupid stuff. Now, how long? I said already, like 20 hours you should beat the game. So now, if I recommend the game, then you need to be a Gears of War fan to enjoy the game. I will say no. I don't think you have. You know, I don't think you need to be a Gears of War fan to enjoy the game, just because it has a really solid foundation. Now, if you like Gears of War, of course you're going to enjoy it a lot more, because there's a lot of stuff, like I said before, that you have, you know, that you can do from the main series, that you can do it here, and I think it's actually, you know, really cool. But it's actually a really solid. I don't think it's going to do something new for the genre. It just is a really solid, and I do recommend this game. I play it on the Game Pass, so I play it for free. You know, I have my time, so it is, you know, a fun game now. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'm still working, of course, on my pronunciation, so you can understand me, you know. So comment in, you know, in the video, of course, so you can let me know if you think I'm keeping, you know, well, doing, you know, progress on my pronunciation, other stuff. I just started, so I'm trying, you know, to learn and to be the best of the best. So yeah, see you in the next one. Hopefully you find something useful here and you enjoyed your time. So see you and take care. Bless you all.